Well, hello, Amy. How you doing? I'm Ed Parcaut here with Amy Tiemeyer, and we're helping the brave.
I'm doing pretty good. How's your Wednesday going?
Ever since I became president of Rotary in July, my months are just running together. Weeks are going together. Days are going together because there's just so much extra stuff I have to do.
I
But
understand.
overall, I'm doing great, if that was the question.
And you guys meet every week or once a month?
And weekly, Thursday morning, I run the meeting, I do all that. And this week we're having, remember Ron Self, the guy that was the
Mhm.
10-year Marine and then went into prison for 23 years? He's actually coming over to speak tomorrow.
That's exciting. I think that'll be great for your Rotary. He's a
Yeah, because
good guy.
our big push this year is of course veterans and how to help out veterans in our or in our local community and around. So
Agreed, agreed.
yeah, let's get on to our guests. Enough about you and me. Let's get to our guests. All right, and let's bring in Joseph Soel. Joseph, how you doing today?
Good, good. How are you, Ed?
Doing great. I don't need to complain twice. How you doing,
So,
Joseph?
Hanging in there, man. Hanging in there.
Where are you out of right now?
I'm out of Olympia, Washington.
Okay, my son's in Yelm.
Mm.
Yeah,
Hey, Home's a nice town.
well, he's out in the middle of nowhere in Yelm, up by that lake. So yeah. So
Yeah,
when you're in Yelm, they go, "Are you in Yelm or are you in out by that lake? Out by the lake."
yeah.
All right. How did you come to us?
How did I come to you? I
Yeah,
happened
yeah,
to.
yeah. For our podcast, yeah.
I happened to see one of Amy's posts in another podcast group, and then she had commented on a post, I think, and I said, "Hey, Amy, any chance I could come on the podcast and talk about the book?" She's like, "Oh yeah," and then I got a direct message from her. So
That was so nice of her.
yeah, but,
well, I think it's interesting because we are not far from each other, but
mhm,
that's and we had talked before the show began that I think we know probably a lot of the same people, but
yeah,
we haven't met face to face.
yeah.
And then, so I'm excited to hear about your book, but we do have a couple questions that we like to ask all of our guests.
Sure.
So I'm going to start. You joined the Army. Why did you choose the branch you chose?
Why did I choose the branch I chose? Hmm. Biggest signing bonus? Is that an option?
Hey, we had
Yeah.
one lady who did it because of the steak. She joined the Air Force because they bought her a steak.
Hmm.
So there's no right reason or wrong reason. It's just why did you pick that
Yeah,
service?
yeah.
So what did you
Biggest.
do in the Army,
I was an ammunition specialist.
and how long were you in?
I was in for 8 years.
So then we also, um, when you were transitioning out, did you use TAPS or what, or any of the services?
No, when I got out in 2014, I got out of the reserve, and they didn't have anything. Even after we got back from Iraq in 2008, they didn't really have any programs, so to speak, take care of us. It was your post-deployment health assessment, and you were.
So so you got deployed while being in the reserves,
Yeah,
and how long were you deployed?
for 13 months.
Okay, and then you came back and they said, okay, see you later.
Yeah, pretty
Okay.
much.
Yeah, yeah, they love the reserve forces even more than they love the regular forces. I mean, that's a joke because they don't take care of either one of us, but
Yeah,
it's worse being in the reserves, especially when they go active and then come back.
yeah. Scattered to the wind.
Yeah. So what do you? So you were in the reserves. What did you do while you were in the reserves?
Just a lot of drills. Not much of my actual job. My only time doing my job was while we were on active duty for Operation Iraqi Freedom. So,
I guess I should have rephrased that. What did you do for a regular job because you don't make enough in reserves
yeah,
to?
yeah.
Yeah.
I did various things. I worked at FedEx warehouses. You know, I ran my own landscape company for a little while. Things like that. A lot of labor jobs.
Regular labor, huh?
Yeah.
What do you do now?
Now I play a lot of golf. And I'm just kind of chilling. I happen to make enough money, without having to go to work because I have a a little book business, and that allows me to basically be retired almost. So,
Oh, really?
yeah.
All right. So are we talking about the book you wrote, The Broken Mirror of Memory, or a different book?
The Broken Mirror of Memory is part of it. We do a lot of self-publishing, or rather republishing, of public domain texts. So, yeah.
You want to go a little bit more into that? Because I'm trying to understand. Yeah.
Well, we take a text that's over 100 years old, that's public domain, and then republish it.
And then put it on like Amazon and places like that.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
And that does pretty well.
Yep, does well enough.
It's just unusual. I've not heard that before. That's why. Yeah.
What's your favorite book that you've done that with?
Oh, my favorite book that I've done that with. Probably Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde.
Interesting.
And how's that sales done?
Oh, that one's one of the top sellers. So.
So you just take the book that was written back then. Do you do any updates to it? Or you just take the same thing, same cover, or do you change anything?
We change a lot of stuff. We'll change the layout. We'll change the, we'll change the cover. The company that did my book cover for The Broken Mirror of Memory also does a lot of the public domain book covers, and they're a Ukrainian company called Get Covers. So.
Pretty hard to remember that, huh?
Yeah, pretty hard.
All right.
So,
you don't change the ending though, right?
Oh, no, you can't do that.
Sorry, that was a joke. Didn't think people would take it seriously. Yeah, now you're getting emails. You shouldn't do that. Go ahead, Amy. I know you had a question.
Well, I was going to say, what got you into, how did you find that niche? That seems so specific.
Well, I love books. I always have. And after I published my own, I was like, well, I have this Amazon store now. What am I going to do with it? So that's what we did with it.
So talk to us about your book.
My book, The Broken Mirror of Memory, it's the story of my time in Iraq, coming home, being kind of messed up, and then it goes into a tour of my early life with my mother, but it's more of a novelization. She died when I was 8, so it involves a lot of psychedelic trips to try to communicate with her in some way or feel a oneness with the universe that I definitely achieved. So, that's the book in a nutshell. It's Iraq and Other Tales, a lot of magic mushrooms, stuff like that.
Interesting. So,
I want to talk about the mushrooms.
Okay, go for it.
Go ahead, Amy. It seems like you're struggling there to come up with a question. So when you were in Iraq, then when you came back, did you have PTSD? Was there something that happened to you over there, or you just had stuff from your childhood that has been affecting you?
There was stuff that happened over there. There were 3 guys killed in a mortar attack on Parcaut. The first week we were in country, that was March 12th, 2008. And we had a helicopter crash where we were at their dignified transfer ceremony. 7 soldiers were killed in that. That was Red River 44, September 17th, 2008. And we had a lot of very close indirect fire, a lot of screaming and yelling, stuff like that. And so yeah, it definitely had some kind of effect on me. The VA certainly seems to think so.
Did you are you disabled? Did they get disabled through the VA?
Yeah. I did end up getting that. That's part of the reason why I'm, playing a lot of golf.
Right. Yeah, because you get a little check every month.
Yeah.
All right. So how did you get to? Because we've had a few people talk about they've done this, or I know a few people have done certain things. How did you get to go down the path with mushrooms and that whole stuff to help you with your psychedelic trips?
Well, the first time it was just kind of getting screwed up, and then you realize you have this oneness with the universe after taking them, and you want to recreate that experience, although not really in an addictive way. It's more of a medicinal way. and I was able to really feel that oneness with the universe. And I definitely talk about that in the book. And I don't do them now, but for a while there, it was a once every 3-month thing. Just set aside a day, take a trip, and see where it takes you. You know?
So it wasn't done by, because a lot of these things are run by different people. They, they bring veterans in and have them go through this, and you did this on your own.
Yeah,
right? Okay.
yeah. I did it all on my own, just me in the woods.
You were in the woods?
Yep.
Went camping?
Yep, pretty much.
And had some tea?
Oh, yeah.
Amy, you okay there? You got anything
Well,
to
I'm
add
doing
to this?
okay. I'm just trying to think of questions. Would you recommend people using mushrooms the way you did, like by yourself, or do you think going through a program is a better?
I think a program's a better way because they can assess you for any pre-existing mental health conditions or any family history of schizophrenia. You want to be checked out for that before you go dabbling in psychedelics. So I'd probably recommend a group. I'm actually going to try one of the groups here coming up. So
Now, when you were doing this in the woods, it was just by yourself?
Yeah.
Okay. So you recommend having a buddy next time or somebody else?
Oh, yeah.
Just like don't go kayaking alone. You shouldn't go shrooming alone.
Nope. You shouldn't go shrooming alone. Shroom hunting alone is okay, but if you're going to do them, then yeah, you're going to want to have a buddy with you. Always have a battle buddy with you when you're doing shrooms.
Well, I think you should have that on a lot of things, a
Yeah.
lot of things you do just in case something would happen. Because if you were there by yourself, you never know what could happen.
Yeah, you never know.
And we're on a show. We shouldn't, condone people to do it themselves. So get help, be part of a program.
Yeah.
We're just, whatever works for you to deal with your issues is how you should deal with them. There's no judgment there.
Yeah,
so.
Exactly. I would definitely recommend a group for sure.
Now, do you see yourself using shrooms and I understand that not in an addictive way and not too fairly often, but do you see yourself as using them for the rest of your life?
Not really the rest of my life, no, but once every so often. Maybe once a year.
That's interesting.
I'm famous for taking heroic doses, so that's 12 grams of shrooms. So yeah, I've built up a tolerance, shall we say.
Sounds that way. All right. And your book, so you said, how long did it take you to write your book?
The book was a 10-year adventure. So I started writing it in Iraq, just kind of jotting down thoughts and everything on my old computer. And then I brought it home, let it sit there for a few years, and then started writing to get some of the stuff out of me. And it was really therapeutic to write the story and get everything on the line. And I can read an excerpt if you want. I can. Totally up to you guys.
How long is your excerpt?
It's about half a page.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, stuck in my boots.
Hold on, let me bring you up.
Sure.
Larger up. There you go. Go for it.
It's called Stuck in My Boots, about a CH-47 crash. I can't just put those men away in boxes. Sand whips by us and it feels like a cold night. It must be 65 degrees. We stand erect at perfect attention. Our shadows are carried in boxes. They are men we might not have liked in life. We don't even know their names at present. But there we stand, our bodies aching from holding that same hand salute. The flag draped coffins, red, white, and blue. The chaplain offers prayer. How the heck did we get here? I feel stuck in my boots and I want out. That should be me in that box. I know it. I can never live it down. I can't move. So I'll just stand here saluting on this tarmac in the middle of the night for the rest of my life.
All right. Sorry, it took me a second to get you back.
Okay.
I can't find my mic sometimes. Little cursor goes away. I got to make it bigger.
Yeah. It's all right.
What has done more help for you, the book or your playing with shrooms?
Definitely
I
the
know
book.
I mean that wrong.
Yeah. Definitely the book. Definitely the book. The book has taken all the guilt of surviving, all the terror, all the anger, all the shame, all of it, and it's kind of trapped it between two covers. And that's, getting that all out of me has been very, very therapeutic.
Yeah.
I'd say it's been better than, the 15 years of VA therapy.
Well, good luck with the VA. My big thing is to get rid of the VA, get insurance, go get help somewhere else. You know what I mean? Yeah. Because I understand they're trying to do their best, but not the best people always work or want to give up money to help, for their family to go work for a VA. So.
Yeah, absolutely.
I agree. Well, thank you for sharing that.
Yeah.
Do you think you'll be writing more books?
Yeah, I have a novel in the works right now. It, oddly enough, involves the VA hospital and the MK Ultra program from the 1960s. So it's a bit of historical fiction I'm working on right now.
What's the MK program?
The MK Ultra program was when the CIA experimented on people with LSD, magic mushrooms, mescaline, things of that nature. Trying to develop a weapon that would incapacitate an army. Instead, it just made a lot of people really, really, really trip balls. So.
And so so I take it you're doing a novel, so it's not really, it's just a story. You're creating a story of something.
Yep. Absolutely. It's going to be a little bit of historical fiction / a lot of horror, because horror books seem to sell the best. I don't know why, but they seem to sell really well.
Yep. People like to be scared.
Yeah, people like to be scared. It's one of the, I think for me it's harder to write fiction. So it's going to be a little interesting. Excuse me for a minute, folks. My dog is freaking out.
I thought maybe that was a cat. Anyway, it's unusual, the whole thing about his store, Amazon store, that whole thing, that's unusual.
It is unusual, and I think it's interesting to look into, repurposing old books, because I think that's a great way for new readers. Like, there's so many books out there, but there's some wonderful stories throughout history that might not compete when they would if you saw them again. So I think that's kind of cool that he's done that as a business model.
Have you thought about teaching other people how to create, once they write a book and they have a bookstore, because what else to do on there?
Well, I wouldn't do that because I don't want the competition, but I have considered holding writers' workshops. So.
Well, I'm just talking what to do with your store, not telling them what you do with your store.
Yeah.
Because I've had some people reach out to me who said, "How did you get your book on Amazon?" It was through the people who helped me do my book, and they have actual products they're trying to get on there, and they're having difficulties getting their products on there.
Oh yeah. I would be open to holding a workshop on that.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to reach out to them and have them connect with you, and then you can figure out. They're not a writer. It's a facial thing that they do. So.
Okay.
Yeah, they were asking me. I'm like, I have no idea. It's not like what I did. Yeah.
Absolutely. I'd be happy to talk to them. Yeah.
Okay. I'll connect them. I'll find your email in the Helping the Brave and connect you to.
Okay. Great.
So what do you hope for your book that you've written? Are you hoping that it inspires other people to read your story, or to write their story, or to understand the veteran experience more? What is like your biggest hope for your book?
I'm hoping for a bit of all of that. I'm hoping first that the book honors the fallen. I'm hoping that the book inspires other veterans to tell their stories. Of course, I'm hoping for a New York Times bestseller, list.
Well, it only takes $20,000, so go for it. Yeah.
Well, yeah, there you go. Yeah. Most of all, I'm hoping someone will find it in 100 years and find some value in it. That's really my greatest hope.
So you're hoping in 100 years somebody else creates a store and then they redo your book?
I really am. I hope to God they do, and I hope it's popular.
It's probably the horror one that's going to be popular.
Most likely. Yeah. But most likely. You never know.
Right. Looking back on what you've done, is there anything you would change?
Of course, there's regrets in life, but I don't think I'd change anything because it made me who I am today and allowed me to write the book. And um, if I hadn't gone to Iraq and had that pain and those regrets, then I wouldn't have the book I do now. I wouldn't be the person I am now. So I don't think I'd change anything. I always tell guys in the unit, I would ride again with you anytime, even though they knew I wasn't terribly supportive of the war at the time. Um, I'd still go with them.
Yeah. Well, I don't think many people were super supportive of the war. It was just something that a lot of people did because they signed on the line.
Yep. Got to go. Got to do it. Yep.
That's right.
So,
What's your handicap? He's laughing. You just play golf. You just go out there for have fun, right?
Yeah. Pretty much. Yeah.
28 then. That's
28. More like 56.
there you go. My type of golfer.
Yeah.
Well, I gave up golf because I got tired of playing military golf.
Yeah.
Left, right.
That's funny. So was there anything that when you joined the Army, was there anything that surprised you in like basic training or AIT or anything like that?
Well, I'm an interesting case, I guess. It didn't surprise me at the time, but it surprises me now. I became a pretty serious Buddhist and even went to the monastery for a little while. That's in the book too. And I became opposed to the harming of any living being. So the most surprising thing to me is the chance of kill, killing on the bayonet range, things like that. That now rings differently to me than it did then. And having become a person of peaceful principles, I'm not really down with war and killing.
So when did you become a Buddhist?
That would have been.
Were you in
2009?
Were you in this? So was it something when you went over there you became a Buddhist, or was it before you went over there?
It was developing while I was there. I was reading books and things of that nature. Then I came back and went to the Zen centers and things of that nature. So it's informed. It's just informed me that I don't want to be involved in killing, and that's just me. I won't judge it on anyone else, but for me, I don't want to harm any sentient beings.
All right. Anything else you want to add about your book or anything you want to talk about there before we go?
Well, the book was a 10-year labor of love. I really do hope that people come and check it out. It's available on Amazon, anywhere books can, be bought on Amazon. I almost said anywhere books can be sold, but that's not entirely true. I think Barnes & Noble has it as well, but it's on Amazon. It's available at barnesandnoble.com. And it was a 10-year labor of love. It's a thing to honor the fallen. It's a book to call for peace in the world. It's a book that isn't just about psychedelic mushrooms, but about finding the oneness with the universe. And I would be honored if folks checked it out.
So it's almost your Buddhist journey.
Almost, yeah. It's almost my Buddhist journey.
Or exactly. I should say it is your Buddhist journey.
Yeah.
Finding oneness with the world, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Oneness with the universe, exactly.
Yeah. So, I mean, I would say it's more of your journey to become who you are today. I'm not putting words in your mouth, but that's kind of what I'm hearing as we're talking. And so it's your journey to become who you are. And that's great that you got that on paper and you can be a different person today.
Yeah. It's definitely been a journey. And like I said, I would just, there's a lot of poetry in there for folks that like poetry. There's a decent narrative for people who like, the history of a unit deployed. And there's a very strange novelization of my life from early childhood, skipping over Iraq, mentioning it briefly, and then going into psychedelic trips, and it has a lot of magical realism in it, and there's even an out of body experience novelized in there. So it's I think it's quite the book. I like it. I would buy it if I could.
You can.
I'm sure I can, but I'd like to share it with others.
All right. So, Joseph, thank you so much for coming on the show today. We really appreciate it. And please go check out his book, The Broken Mirror of Memory, and you can find it on Amazon. And I'm pretty sure anywhere that they have online books, right? They should be there.
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah. All right. And thanks for coming to the show today. Amy, thanks for being here. If you like what we do here, like I always say, just subscribe and let people know, and go to our YouTube channel and subscribe to that and share. Thank you so much. Amy, say goodbye. Joseph,
Goodbye.
Bye.
It was a pleasure. Thank you.
All right. It's still here. There. It's a little bit slower to get off today. I give up. I don't think it wants us to go anywhere. It wants us to stay today.